Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 6 of my monthly look at Clockwork Empires. Again, we're on Alpha 49A. Word is that biomes are almost ready to go, but have not yet been released to the experimental branch quite yet. So I imagine I might not get around to looking at them at this during this specific playthrough. Maybe I'll whip something up when they actually go live. I'm sure we'll hear all about it when they do. Well, let's take a look at the colony here. So, production is in full swing. We can see black smoke billowing from the metalworks here. Oh, Bran Griff. Healed of a painful wound. He was able to successfully visit the barber shop. Here we have Dewey Ironwill producing yet another pistol. So this one goes right into the old bucket of varnish again. Ah, well. That means, anyway, most of our militia now have guns. So I am confidently going to send them to check out this bandit encampment. And I'm going to do that by, first off, to find the military crew. I set a rally point and I say, go here, soldiers. And if it turns out there are no bandits there, then I will also send my colonists over there to forage everything. I can steal from bandits if bandits steal from me. Alright, how are we doing for resources? Got some wood, a fair amount of planks. We're okay for stone. Hematite, we've actually got hematite actively being produced. Got a good amount of lacquer. Everything we need, I think. Just gonna queue up these trees, maybe these couple of trees here. Might as well grab these for food production and okay, we're already set up to make some of that higher quality food, but I'm going to need to make sure I have glass bottles, which means I need to smelt more. Actually, I've got 15 glass panes. Okay, I don't know where those came from, so I'll just need to turn some of those into bottles. So the one thing we were waiting for, or the one thing we desperately need now, is beds, and I've planned to put some cots in here, but I have to wait until they're actually produced. As we can see in the commodities menu, we've started producing some of them, but we're still waiting on that production. It's okay, the carpentry is on it. How are we doing? Oh, excellent. Nobody is on strike. All is going well. Let's see how long this lasts. Oh, someone's having an argument. Some kind of argument going on in the kitchen. Now, in addition to cots, the next thing I was looking at was producing the laboratory and the chapel, both of which require these fancy lacquer planks. So, I believe Chauncey Steelsley is producing some right now. Okay, so he's just delivered the plank resource to the chemical works, and he's going back to the stockpile to grab some lacquer. And then we'll start having lacquer planks. Another thing I did have the chemical works produce are these bottles of sulfur tonic because, as you can see here, we had some incidental sulfur we just mined up from somewhere. Now, sulfur tonic is bad for you, as drinking sulfur directly you could reasonably assume it would be bad for you. However, its effect on your colonists is to help them recover their mental state. Which is to say, if they're all crazy and unhinged because they've been having dreams about tentacled monsters in like drowned cities, sulfur tonic will help them recover. It will drive down their madness meter, but it will obviously still hurt them because sulfur is bad for you. Okay, there's some fancy lacquer planks. Do I have enough to initiate the construction of either the lab or the chapel? Yes, I do. I guess I'm going to start on the chapel because I actually promised my colonists that I would build one. Where can I put it? Again, it doesn't really have to be close to the town, but it would be nice if my colonists didn't waste too much time trying to walk back and forth to get to the chapel. Adjacent to a cemetery actually seems like a reasonable place for a chapel. There we go. Oh, that's a lot. Maybe I won't make it quite so big. 6 lacquer planks is kind of a lot to ask. Let's aim for a more modest chapel. There we go. That'll require only 5. That's not much of a savings. Okay, 5 lacquer planks it is. We've got plenty of lacquer. Any self-respecting chapel will of course have a door. Or 2. At least 1 altar. And several chairs. I'm going to put the chairs here. And I'm going to cram in beds in all the other corners. Don't tell me you've never fallen asleep at church. Okay. Actually, there's not going to be much room for beds in here. I hope that bed and that chair don't overlap. I kind of think they do, actually. Yeah, okay. So, I can go to the module menu, and it actually lets me delete or move modules, either placed or in blueprint form. Boop. So the church will only have 1 cot. Oh, let's not forget the windows. There we go. Now we, what is that? 1 altar, 3 chairs, and 1 cot. I'll remember to order them from the carpentry here. Oh, the wooden altar also consumes lacquer planks. That's new. Oh, we're going to need even more. I did set the... Did I set the... I'll check that in a second. I'm just wondering if I set the chemical works to maintain a level of lacquer planks, or did I just put in a one-off order? What was that? 3 chairs, I believe? Okay. Okay, about that chapel problems. Yes, the colonists are becoming impatient about the lack of chapel, even though I promised them one. Look, I'll actually build a chapel this time, for reals. I will be expected to follow through. Well, if you would get to work building it, you could have one. Okay, and 3 immigrants. Excellent. Time to assign the immigrants. Well, Pansy doesn't. Pansy and Robert both do not have employees. And, let's see, Metal Works, Chemical Works. You know what, I'm going to assign 1 more employee to the Chemical Works, just because they're producing my vital lacquer planks at the moment. Meet your new supervisor, Chauncey. It looks like the corn harvest is coming in. I would say it's probably about time to expand our farming efforts as well. This cornfield has been pretty good, and it's produced a glut of corn, and because food doesn't spoil for the overproduction just accumulates, and that creates a buffer in case of whatever, some kind of catastrophic beetle attack or something. I would, however, like to produce wheat, just so it's another source of food, but also I can begin ramping up my alcohol production. So, now as we noted earlier, wheat fields are huge, which means I'm actually going to need to flatten some land. In previous games, I would actually have just switched over the corn field to wheat. That's no longer possible, of course. I guess I could demolish the cornfield, but a wheat field would still not fit in there. So with the changes to the farming system now, I'm actually going to have to plant an entirely new field for wheat, which means I'm going to have to flatten a bunch of stuff. So, let's see. Oh, look at this. They actually built a fancy decorative grinder module that serves no function, but it's an indicator of things to come. Alright, time to flatten. Where would be a good place for a wheat field? I guess here? Since people are already kind of walking back and forth between the mine and the town. This should be big enough, right? Okay, and a relatively new thing, of course, is when you hover over a flattened area marker, you can now see the area in question is delineated. Also, what's this? Someone has a question about fish people policy. Marjorie Walker-Cotter has encountered fish people and opposes my current policy. I can keep hassling them, shoot them on sight. I'm just going to keep hassling them. I don't want to take a really aggressive attack with them, but if they try to, harass my colonists or destroy my crops, I can't allow that. So I'm just going to say, keep harassing them, but try not to kill them. All right, I have another notification. Oops. That will pop up as soon as the autosave completes. So bandits have arrived somewhere. This is the arrival of a new bandit camp somewhere. 4 bandits. Well, thank you for letting me know. Speaking of bandits, where did those soldiers go? I sent them... Did I not ask you to rally? What is this? Dark stone block. Oh, this is interesting. I think I'm going to be a little bit proactive here. I'm going to send in the military crew. So it looks like they yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. Gotta pause. Too many world events. First of all, I got a new overseer. Second, my relations with the Stalmark have degraded thanks to a spontaneous world event. Thirdly, I have completed construction of the chapel, and certain colonists are pleased, and I should probably assign a religiously inclined overseer to be the vicar there. Alright, now then, I'm going to send my soldiers to visit these bandits. And also I note that this bandit camp appears to be right next to a bunch of gold. So it's even more vital that I suppress the bandit threat in this area. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. And there go our fine boys in red. Alright, so the chapel is complete. I should probably assign... Oh, and here is our choice of doctrine. So I'm going to look for a colonist who either wants to be a vicar or is spiritually inclined. Their temperament is best suited for the religious life. So let's see, Cornelia Steelmud, nothing special. Iolanth Pendle, now she is spiritually inclined. Also a laudanum fiend, which will make her an amusing vicar. So congratulations, Iolanth Pendle, you get the job. Now, which doctrine do we want? The mild one that pleases everyone. The authoritarian military one, which will please probably the soldiers and aristocrats, I believe. Muscularism, which pleases... hard labor, I guess. The laborers, or mechanism, which pleases scientists and aristocrats. I'd like to suppress any further strikes, actually, because those are really crippled my output. So I'm going to select muscularism, which hopefully pleases the... Wait a second, no. It might please the workers. Yes, okay, so I'll go with muscularism. And I have a vicar for the chapel, which is instantly very popular. And that last shipment of beds came in, and what's going on here? Okay, far too many... Oh, I see there's been fighting with the bandits. So we already lost a soldier while I was busy doing administrative stuff back in the colony. Okay, Marjorie Walker-Cotter has died. Colonists unable to find a vicar. That's not too surprising. Okay, that's fine. I think we've actually got them on the run here. Although I'm a little disappointed that 3 of my colonists are chasing a single bandit. Hello, what's this? You dropped a gun. I'll have that. So my military strength is down by 1. Oh no, it's down by 2. Narek Iron Cowl has also died. Fair enough, but we have taken care of these bandits, and I'm going to claim these. Oh, suspicious goods. Nelly Cog, can source some gray market goods, I'm going to say refuse. Wow, we did an excellent job. So clearly this bandit encampment is empty. This bandit encampment has just been cleared by us. We are going to pillage everything. Forage these, and hopefully these dark stone blocks do not wake up and do not turn into eldritch beasts, which then proceed to terrorize the townsfolk. Oh, and someone's already come to bury corpses. Okay, I believe this one is the rally marker, so good job, soldiers. You can return home. Oh, they are all in poor, poor mental health. Yes. The sight of corpses has upset them. Alright, how are we doing? Planks, tonic, food. Soon I will be collecting resources from the camps. I've got the chapel, so the next thing was the laboratory. Okay. It's not a module, it is a office. Here we go. Laboratory. Home for the noble pursuit of science. I'm going to put you a fair distance, well, put you a small distance away from town. Here we go. Give you a door. The active module in a laboratory is, of course, the chalkboard. I will supply this building with 2 of them. And, of course, some bunks. That should do it for now. So that's 2 chalkboards and 3 cots. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. And of course, windows. There, that is plenty of stuff to keep my colony busy for quite some time. Oh, I have fishmen trundling through town. That reminds me, I should probably shore up the military strength again. I believe my military is down to 3 people. So I'm just going to grab some colonists who aren't in crews actively assigned to workshops and reassign them to the military. Here we go. And those soldiers who are newly assigned and find themselves without weapons will soon acquire weapons. I believe we have a fair number of weapons now, in addition to the ones we've made, of course. They're all the ones we acquired from the corpses of slain bandits, and also whatever we might scavenge from their tents. Also, what is this? A pile of forbidden things which are no longer forbidden. I claim you in the name of the Cog Empire. Oh, there's another bandit camp here. Maybe I should have cleared this out. I don't want to get all my soldiers killed, so I want to give them enough time to recover a little bit, maybe have some treatment by the barber, and recover mentally, perhaps, just a little bit. All of my military are gibbering wrecks who are extremely mad. Ah, but look at all this loot. Delicious loot, and the skeleton is wearing a natty green polka dot head wrap. Alright, let's see what you fine fellows have scavenged. Oh, no, he hates beetles more than he likes scavenging. I'm going to claim that for me. Oh, I see moonshine. we can't produce moonshine, so it's great that we're actually able to recover some from the bandits. And Victoria and Nellie here. What is this? More moonshine. What else have you got? Oh, Cheech. Wow, these bandits really like their booze. Fair enough. Oh, that's another... When did this... I didn't notice this until I had significant traffic wandering from the two bandit sites to and from the colony. But there's a large field of... this is a lot of obeliskians. So these little square ones are obeliskian servitors. And when they wake up, they're just little floating cubes with one eye on each of their four sides and dangly tentacles underneath. The big one that looked like an obelisk is actually an obeliskian. It's like a giant floating menhir, or obelisk, if you will. And they're considerably tougher than the obeliskian servitors. And now that they're covered by the fog of war, I can't see if there are any of the other ones. But there's a third type of obeliskian horror, which is they also look a little bit like cubes, but on their points, so they're like little floating diamonds. And yes, I think they're smaller than the cubey ones, but all three of those will attack your colony. Also, there's a fox wandering around. I don't want it eating my meat products. Just marked you for hunting. No, don't feel like hunting. Oh, fair enough. I think we can leave these bandits alone. Who's this? Who has explored here? Someone has explored all the way to the edge of that map. Alright. Soon, actually, now that I think about it, the laboratory no longer performs research. It used to, in previous revisions, and it was removed recently when some sort of cult and madness rebalancing was going on, so it's still not back in the game. The primary reason we would want copper as an ore and then also as components is so that we could make research modules. That is, modules in the laboratory that are used to research fishy idols and obeliskian seals and things. But because the laboratory it's no longer possible for anyone to perform research, it's also no longer necessary for me to build those modules, which means I don't need to care about copper. All well and good, so I don't have to worry about establishing a copper mine, and I've got 3 immigrants incoming. That's good. Let me minimize this for a second. Just replenish some of the ranks here. Good, good. What was I going to... Ah, yes, the wheat farm, before I was distracted. And I've got a new overseer, thank you. Did I just... Here we go. This is where the new wheat farm will go. Of course, the wheat farm is going to need its own crew to farm it. Let's say Cornelius Steelmud. Well, okay. Who would be good at farming? Vertaline Tar? Could be better. Cornelius Steelmud. Noble Whig. Nelly Cog. Pansy... what's this? Materialist? Nope. Okay. Robert Steelpen? Nope. Birdie. Oh yes, Birdie was one of the original farmers. I had Birdie farming the cornfields until she decided to go on strike, so I reassigned her crew duties. But now that she's unassigned, I can assign her to this wheat field. And the thing that made me assign her to the first field in the first place is that she, being a farmer, is one of her desires. So there you go. Birdie, you have a new farming assignment. Second chance at your life as a farmer. Don't screw it up. How are the salvage operations going? Still busy looting? Although we've reduced this one to just a pile of delicious loot. Look at all this stuff. Oh. And our relations with the Novorus have gone down. But look at all this stuff. Cogs, gunpowder, bread. Great. Can't wait to get my hands on these. I suppose I should build a foreign office. The laboratory is mostly done, actually just needs to be assembled. Sure, so it's not too much of a drain on resources to also build an office at this point. Another office, I should say. A foreign office. Here we go. Suppose here will be fine. Now, the functional module in an office is the standing desk. Each standing desk must be used by one colonist, and each of those colonists contributes to the accumulation of diplomacy points, which you will spend toward either improving or harming relations with one of the many factions. And I have another proposal for suspicious goods from Elsa King, which I'm going to refuse again, like any good citizen. So, the Foreign Office requires 3 standing desks. Again, I'll order you from the carpentry. The carpentry has been doing good work. Carpentry has been making almost all of the wooden modules in this colony, as well as maintaining, a steady supply of processed planks. And look at all these modules waiting to be placed. The lab needs an owner. Just a game reminder that I haven't assigned a scientist there. And, of course, I am going to build at least 1 bed in here. And I can fit 2, I believe. There we go, 2 beds. Okay, and of course, some windows. There's really not room for almost anything else in this cramped little building. Here we go. The work has begun. No, work has not yet begun on the maze plot. Birdie, rivet cotters, bedeviled growers. What are you doing, Birdie? Oh, Drusilla Gaslug is on strike. The Metalworks. The Metalworks is on strike, and Drusilla is very angry, and it is because she felt tired. Well, I'm doing my best. We've got a lot more beds than we used to. Plainly, obviously we still don't have enough. That's fine. I don't think we're urgently producing any metal goods at the moment. What was I looking for? Birdie. Birdie. Here we go. It says they're farming, but they're farming over here in the cornfields, which is kind of weird. Because I distinctly remember assigning you here. And the cornfields belong to Birdie. That's weird. I thought I had a second farming crew. You know what? Birdie was assigned to the cornfield, and I've just also assigned her to the wheat field. And the problem here is that this wheat field will never be tilled. The farming crew will never move on from one field to another until all jobs are completed at one field, which they will never be, just because of the way the farming system works. So I actually have to find a second crew to farm the new wheat field. Possibly Robert Steelpendle, Pansy Rivet, Nellie Cog, Noble Whig, Cornelius Steelmud, Vertaline Tar, Jesse Allen, perhaps? Yeah, Jesse Allen, why not? There we go. So our food was pretty secure before, but I think we have food in great abundance now. And look at all this stuff. Now we've got various types of booze. We've got all sorts of guns and weapons and fancy foods. Let's see, the foreign office is complete. Have to assign a scientist to the lab. and also pick our first research project. Now, the colonists who make good scientists are reclusive and bookish and methodical. Let's see. There's actually a little bit too much to be managing right now. I'm just going to pick whoever. Jesse Allen, are you still assigned to the cornfield? Yes, you are. Okay. Whatever. First colonist who's not busy with anything. Robert Steelpendle. Robert Steelpendle, you now own the laboratory. And when you're not doing laboratory jobs, you are permitted to do these other spontaneous colony jobs. And what else do we need? We need employees for the Foreign Office. And again, we'll pick the faction that we want to work on our diplomacy with. Pansy Rivet, all right. Pansy Rivet's fancy work crew, and when you're not busy shuffling paperwork, you can be doing all these other subsidiary jobs. And let's just take a look at the... Okay, there's a stream of colonists coming back from having cleared out almost that bandit camp and this bandit camp. So life in the colony is humming along. There's plenty to do. The goods are just rolling in. All right, Foreign Office. Now we can look at the state of our relations with the various factions. For some reason, our relations with the Empire are very low. I mean, I haven't requested any drops from them. It probably damaged early on in the game when I let the bandits take what they wanted. So I could concentrate on renewing my relationship with the Empire, or perhaps working on foreign relations. I think I'd be best served by concentrating on diplomacy with the Clockwork Empire. So our standing is currently -10. We can do, once we've accumulated some diplomacy points by, for instance, Vertaline Tar here is working in the Foreign Office. Once we accumulate some points, we can purchase favors as they become available. Same goes for the laboratory. As we accumulate research points here, when Robert Steelpendle and his employees come here to work, we'll have research points to put toward various scientific breakthroughs. This is new. So agriculture is not new, and neither is mining and metallurgy, and these are typically your choice of small enhancements. But this category is new, the military research. And let's take a look at these actually. Opiated bandaging requires 12 research points. Soldiers will experience less pain and maintain combat readiness. I'm in a state of increased damage. Okay, so I think just flavor text that describes this bonus as conferring a damage bonus to your soldiers. Not bad. Or sharpshooting. Much the same. Another small bonus damage feat, or another small bonus damage ability for your soldiers. And optimized training. I believe maybe this may pertain specifically to the time it takes to train a soldier. Basically, when you assign a colonist to the militia or to your military, they start off as brown coats, and it takes a bunch of training for them to turn into red coats. And at that point, it means they're proper soldiers, and they reload faster, and they do more damage, that sort of thing. Pardon me. So we'll pick a category. Oh, we'll pick a category later. I mean, we have 0 research points right now. What's this? There's a bandit raid incoming. Yes. To battle. Oh, what the... Huh. That bandit decided she wanted to steal an idol of Quaggaroth, which isn't even mine. So there you go. I think we put down the bandits. I couldn't tell amongst the throng of people. Upfish Peleg. Wow, that's quite the name. Oh, look at them. They're talking to each other. Brangriff is making his soldiers train. That's a new thing as well. Just Soldiers will train by shooting their pistols now instead of just doing push-ups on the ground. So sometimes it looks like they're fighting and they're actually just practicing their marksmanship. Oh, there's an aurochs checking out my my colony. I'm not seeing any of those pointy diamond-shaped obeliscans. I believe this one, except for this one. It looks exactly like an idol of Pogarath until it rises out of the ground and floats around. So when this thing comes out of the ground, it'll be a floating diamond. So hopefully they never wake up. Well, I mean, it would make for a more entertaining playthrough, but for the good of my colonists, they'd better hope. The obeliscans never wake up, and if you'll remember, last episode I mentioned Saskatoon berries, and here we have a fine example. So Saskatoon berries only grow on the steppe subbiome, which I believe is this. And yeah, they're these bluey berries. They're functionally the same as the red berries, except of course they're blue. And the reason that's significant is that I need two different types of berries to make the berry medley food item. Which I guess I could. It's a very small yield. And frankly, that's a long way to go for berries. At this point, I think the kitchen could probably use some expansion. Certainly you could use some upgraded ovens. So I'm going to go to the metalworks, which hopefully are no longer on strike. Someone's on strike. Oh, the ceramics workshop is on strike. Hydunia Steel Solder. Why are you so upset? Oh, what's this? She felt tired recently. Yep, not enough beds. You'll notice, though, it's happening less and less. And fewer crews are striking, which is good. All right, 3 additional workers. I'm going to queue up a couple of fancy small iron ovens, which means I'm going to need some pipes and sheets. So I'm going to have to queue up some of those as well. So I'm going to move smelting iron ore to the bottom of the priority list because when the workshop is looking for the next project, they'll tackle the list from the top down, skipping ones that they don't have the prerequisites for. So I don't want the metalworks to be making more iron ore until we absolutely need some. Until it has checked every one of these earlier 3 projects and determined that they can't be made, then it will make iron ore. Alright, now I'm noticing my scientist doing some hauling when he could be doing some research. So maybe I'm going to change Robert Steelpendle's priorities. I would like you doing research and nothing else. Thank you. Get back to the lab. And I believe we have almost completely plundered the 2 bandit camps. Ah, sweet, sweet gold. Look at all our goods. Sabers and muskets and blunderbusses. Oh, I forgot. I had a second barracks. I could in fact have a second military squad, military crew. In addition to just Bran Griff, it could be anyone. But I don't really need them, I guess. It's nice to know if I need one in an emergency, I can probably conscript some people. So I had the metalworks making small iron ovens, which means at some point I'm going to have to place them in here. So we're going to go to kitchen modules, iron oven. I guess you can go. There's a lot of stuff going on in this kitchen. Here and here. I think that'll be okay. It's going to block people who want to take the shortcut behind the kitchen. And again, why is no one in my foreign office working? It's probably because I enabled the secondary jobs for them. So let's see, that's Pansy Rivet. You are no longer permitted to do secondary jobs. just concentrate on the diplomacy. So, that's pretty much where the game stands for now. So, this has been, my total playtime has been approximately 2.5 hours. I've built almost every module. And I think we're pretty secure now. We can defend ourselves. We have all these resources rolling in. Industry is fine. And instances of work stoppages due to dissatisfaction are declining. I think we're in a good place. I guess that's where I'm going to wrap up this playthrough. So it's been 6 episodes of watching this colony grow, and we now have a colony of 45 people, and nobody has starved to death or anything like that. Most of our deaths have come from fights with bandits, I believe. And even they are no longer a threat. We're in a position to continually improve our relationship with the foreign powers, and conceivably also the bandits if I want to bend the might of my foreign office toward diplomacy with the bandits. That's where the game stands. So this is Clockwork Empires. We're up to Alpha 49A, eagerly awaiting the update to biomes. The game's in a pretty good place, I feel. It's pretty stable. We didn't run into too many errors or bugs. I think things are mostly working as intended. If this is the sort of game you think you might be interested in, then the game is in early access. You can purchase it on Steam, I believe through the Humble Store, and also through the Gaslamp Games' own website. There's also, all the usual stuff. Gaslamp Games has a forum where discussions are fairly vigorous. There are people doing playthroughs and things, as I tend to do about once a month. Yeah. Thanks very much for watching this with me, or watching me play this. I hope you found it informative, and I will see you next time there's an update to Clockwork Empires. Bye.